I've been working mostly with high school kids in the school lately. It's a very different job working with high school kids because as a teacher's aide, you're helping out in the classroom. In primary school, there's a million things to do. That one can't spell that word, that one's punching that one's shat themselves. You're just jumping around constantly. High school, obviously, it's like a very different job. I was a bit confused on my first day working in the high school as to what my job kind of was. I remember I went in, I looked at my roster, Year 10 Science. I'm supporting a kid in Year 10 Science. So I go in and meet him. We're sitting in the room. The science teacher, she's over there. She starts giving the science lesson. I pretty quickly realise this kid's better at Year 10 Science than me. And now I'm just like, what is my job at this point? Actually, what am I doing? What am I doing? She's there, she's giving the lesson. I'm here, I'm in the class, I'm listening. I'm learning, to be honest. I am learning. I'm just doing Year 10 Science, aren't I, really? And loving it, if I'm honest. I was like, this was too hard for me when I was in Year 10, but this is about my level now. Can I answer some of these? He said that was igneous. I reckon it's sedimentary. It does feel like that. I was in a Year 8 maths class last week, and the kid that I was working with, he was like, how do we figure out the angle on that triangle? I just had to go, I reckon we asked the teacher. It's fucking demoralising. Teacher comes over, squats down. You know teachers do that, squats down at the desk explaining it, but he's doing that to me. That's my colleague, do you know what I mean? I have to be in the staff room with him 20 minutes later, acting like we're equals. What are you up to this weekend? Thanks for that Pythagoras shit, by the way, bro. Really appreciate it, man. I get too caught up in it, you know? I feel like a kid half the time. I feel like I'm just at school. I look at my roster, double maths. Fuck. Do you reckon anyone will notice if I sneak off into the laneway, have a ciggy? And I get into the classes, you know? They're pretty fucking good, some of them. I remember like in my first week working in the high school, we had a Chinese class, Year 9 Chinese. Went in, the Chinese teacher was explaining fortune cookies to the class. She was explaining the origin of fortune cookies. She was like, there was a dictatorship in China and all the revolutionaries wrote down little messages, hid them inside biscuits, handed them out as a way to hide their secret messages from the dictatorship. I'm looking around, half the kids are on their phones, they're talking at the back. I'm like, guys, this is fucking sick. Do you know what I mean? If this was a podcast, people would pay for it. Like, I get too involved. One time I did answer a question in class. If anyone in here is a teacher's aide, an education support worker, if you ever have the desire to answer a question in class that the teacher has asked, because you might be sitting there and you'll think to yourself, okay, the teacher's just asked a question. The kids don't know the answer. I know the answer, so I may as well just say it to improve the flow of the class. Anytime you have that thought, you should follow it up with another thought, which should be, maybe I don't know the answer. Just check in with yourself. Just go, oh yeah, it's possible I don't know it, I guess. It was Year 9 drama. The teacher said to everyone, she said, can anyone give me an example of dramatic irony? Dramatic irony, which I later found out that's like a theatre term, dramatic irony. That's like when a character in a play is unaware of something that the audience is aware of. I didn't know about that. Dramatic irony. I took both those words individually and literally. I thought she was doing an exercise where she wanted to hear about something that could happen in the everyday world that would be dramatic, but also a little bit ironic. I said, yeah, I think I've got one. Real confident, I think I've got one. What if an ambulance ran someone over at a pedestrian crossing? I was quite proud of that. I was like, that would be an overt display of dramatic irony, I reckon. She didn't love it, the teacher. You know when kids get answers wrong in class, teachers don't just tell them straight up that they're wrong. They sort of skirt around. They're like, oh, you're on the right track, but it's so, you know, you could look at it like that, but it's kind of... She didn't do any of that shit with me. When I said that, she gave me 2 words. She just went, what? No.